Well, it's about time. Is there any news?
Yes, Father, there is.
You sound so serious, Alan.
It is serious, Lila. Edward, I think you better sit down.
Well, for heaven's sake, what is it?
Crane Tolliver's dead.
Why? What the motivation was?
What happened? There isn't much to explain. He was connected to an IV.
So what went wrong?
He tried to pull it out.
What?
Amy's right. Now, Tolliver was still partially sedated from the surgery, but he attempted to pull out the catheters from his IV.
He expired less than a minute later. What are you listing as the primary cause of death?
Cardiac arrest. It was simple. His heart simply stopped.
As I said, there isn't much detail. Unless you have some questions.
I do. I'm stunned, of course. But I still have a whole lot of unanswered questions at this point. Could you come over here, please?
Dr. Copper, call the lab on two. Hi. Hey, what's the matter with you? You look like somebody died.
Somebody did.
Oh. Hey, I'm sorry. Was it anybody close?
Not really. No. Just close enough to leave me with a hot potato. I don't know what to do with it.
Oh, sorry. I should have knocked.
Oh, that's all right. Lulu, this is Celia Quartermain.
How do you do? Hi. Am I interrupting something?
No, not really.
Well, these are the clothes you had on when you got soaked in the rain.
Well, thank
Had
you.
them cleaned and pressed.
You didn't have to do that.
Oh, no trouble. Did you hear the news? It was on the car radio while I was driving over here. You know that killer you brought in? He died in the hospital.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what happened? It was just a news bulletin. They didn't give many details.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Oh, look, I know when to leave.
Hey, it's Lulu, you don't have to go.
Look, I'll just see you.
Lulu, I said you don't have to
I know
go.
when to get lost.
Well, who was your friend?
Oh, just a friend of a friend.
What's she so touchy about?
I don't know. I just met her.
Was the death painful, do you know?
Oh, I don't think so, Lila. It was all over in a matter of moments.
You know, in spite of what happened, I feel grateful that he didn't suffer.
Well, if nobody else is going to say it, I am. I feel relieved.
I think we could all breathe a little easier, Edward.
But providing he didn't talk before he died, did he?
I doubt it. His heart gave out very suddenly.
Well, if he didn't talk, then that's what we can all be grateful for.
Excuse me. I had the radio on in the kitchen, and the newscaster said that the police commissioner is holding a news conference about Mr. Tolliver's death.
Oh, good Lord. You mean that's going on right now?
No, he said it would be sometime this afternoon.
Oh, well, thank you, Stella.
I thought you'd want to know.
Yes, Stella, thank you. Well, you all better start praying that I'm in time.
Well, in time for what?
Well, isn't it obvious? I've got to get a hold of Scorpio before he holds that press conference.
Wait a minute. What makes you think you can stop him?
Well, of course, I can't stop him, Alan, but at least I can try to find out what it is we need to know.
Well, what is it we need to know?
If Lila and Tolliver's marriage certificate and the unsigned divorce papers have turned up yet.
Now, would you say that Tolliver understood that he was in grave condition?
I think he did before surgery and afterwards.
But, I mean, wasn't he still groggy? I mean, after all, he was sedated and he was hooked up to IV tubes. I spoke to him myself.
But there was still some lingering side effect from the anesthesia, and he was sedated against post-operative pain.
So it's possible he never really understood the danger he was in. Did he have any visitors after I talked to him?
They insisted on seeing him.
Who were they?
Jimmy Lee and a construction worker that he met here at the hospital, Red.
And Alan Quartermain saw him, too.
Excuse me, Commissioner.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
The press conference has been set up in your office, sir. They'll begin whenever you get there.
Thank you. Now, let's get back to Jimmy Lee and Red. You know that they both talked to him?
Yes, they went in one at a time.
Were you close enough to hear the conversation?
No, I wasn't, but I did see them talking.
Well, go on, they talked, and then what?
They left.
And Tolliver was still functioning.
Yes, he was. He collapsed
right after they left.
Did they know he collapsed?
Yes, they were there when the patient died.
Hey, wait a minute. You said that they just left.
Oh, maybe I can explain that. When he collapsed, the nurse does a code blue. That notifies the crash guard.
Go on.
Well, apparently, Jimmy Lee heard that code blue. He came back, but Tolliver was dead by then.
He knew Tolliver died?
Yes, I told him myself.
What was his reaction?
Startled.
Surprised?
Yes, you could say that.
What difference does that make?
Could make all the difference in the world. Thank you.
You know it's freezing in here.
Is it?
You wouldn't happen to have a cup of hot coffee, would you?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did, but I cleaned the pot this morning and put it away.
Well, whatever you do, don't go to any extra trouble to make some for me.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the distinct impression you'd rather not have company.
Listen, I just have a lot to do, that's all.
Looks like you're going to have company whether you like it or not.
Who's that?
That could be your answer.
Well, Celia, what a pleasant surprise this is.
Yes, it is for me, too.
As a matter of fact, Holly mentioned something to the effect that she's meeting you for lunch today.
That's right, at Dino's. Would you like to join us?
Wonderful idea, but I'm afraid not a chance. I have work to do, people to see.
Ah, well, far be it from me to interfere. Excuse me?
Just, would you wait a second?
Yes?
Thanks for bringing my stuff and cleaning it for me. Appreciate it.
I think nothing of it. Bye.
Where are they? Who? I'm talking about what, not who, in particular, the documents that Tolliver was blackmailing the Quartermains with.
How should I know?
Because he gave them to you.
Come on, no way.
Come on, pal. You were the last one to see him alive.
So what? That doesn't mean he gave me the papers.
I think he did.
Well, I'll tell you something. He must have known a lot of people. He could have given it to any one of them.
I say, he gave them to you. Now, you going to deny it?
Of course I deny it. How many times do I have to deny it?
I'm sorry. I'll come
It's okay, Lulu. I want you to meet the new police commissioner. Lulu, Mr. Scorpio.
Lulu, I'll get back to you later.
Okay.
Why, Mr. Quartermain?
Scorpio, I'm sorry to arrive here unannounced, but it's imperative that I see your husband.
He's not here.
Well, do you have any idea where I might find him?
Right at this moment, no, I don't. He's scheduled a press conference, however, so you might try him at his office.
Yes, I did, and he hasn't come there yet. Tell me, do you have any idea what he intends to say at this press conference?
Wouldn't it be better if you asked him that yourself?
Well, I intend to, but, you know, after all, we are all friends.
Are we?
Yes, certainly. And I'm sure if you have any idea of any new evidence that he plans to present, you would be happy to tell me.
Well, I might, but would you believe me?
Well, of course I would believe you. Why would you doubt that?
Well, there was that time at the Versailles room when we met. You called me a con artist and a thief. So why would you believe what I said now?
Yes, well, if I did characterize you in those words, I do apologize. But I hope you understand. I had just suffered some very severe financial reverses, and I was terribly upset. I spoke, I'm afraid, out of the heat of the moment.
Well, we'll let it go at that then, shall we?
Thank you. Now as to what Robert plans to announce at this news conference.
There is one thing that I can tell you.
Well, I'd be very grateful. What?
Well, it's starting any minute now, so really, you're wasting your time here with me.
Well, there's nothing you could tell me?
Only that I have a luncheon date that I really don't want to be late for, so if you don't mind.
Oh, well, I shall try to intercept your husband at the office.
Yes, you do that.
And once again, I do apologize for intruding.
Goodbye, Mr. Quartermain.